In shape, 145. In shape. You know what I mean? So this is different from a Crawford coming up to 168, but we know his walk around weight is probably 170, 180.
Tank Davis, only shortcoming, pun intended, is his height. He's 5'5" with a 67-inch arm reach. But as you can see here, he's working on his versatility.
Terence Crawford reportedly paid a visit to Gervonta Davis ahead of his highly anticipated showdown with Jake Paul, offering valuable training insights and strategic pointers. The two champions were said to have exchanged techniques and discussed different approaches to the fight, displaying a strong sense of mutual respect. Crawford reportedly voiced his full support for Davis, commending his remarkable skill and relentless work ethic. He even hinted that if Davis ever wished to challenge him in the ring, he'd welcome it, not out of rivalry, but out of pure respect for the sport of boxing.
Gervonta Davis speaking about you. Is that ever a possible fight?
Yeah, if you want to dare to be great, you can be like all the other fighters that moving up 2 weight classes, daring to be great.
You would fight him.
Man, tell him to come up there.
He got to come to win 54.
He said I got a glass chin, so tell him to come and touch it.
Wow. Gervonta said you got a glass.
He said I got a glass chin. Tell him to come and touch it.
At 147?
At 147. I'll make 147.
Ooh, see, oh man.
You gonna have a pre-camp.
Then what the people gonna say? Oh, he's beating up on little guys.
Gervonta Davis appears to be taking inspiration from Terence Crawford, widely regarded as one of boxing's most technically refined fighters. Crawford's preparation for Canelo Alvarez drew attention for his seamless stance switches, impeccable balance, and unpredictable rhythm. Now, Tank seems to be adopting a similar approach. Recent training footage shows him experimenting with advanced footwork, shifting angles, and even switching stances mid-combination, a rare sight in his past performances. Analysts suggest he's not only learning from Crawford, but also studying Jaron Boots Ennis, who's mastered the art of fighting fluidly from both stances. This evolution hints that Davis is preparing to unveil a whole new dimension to his game when he steps into the ring against Jake Paul.
Right. This is scary. Gervonta Tank Davis is working on his versatility. We already know he has that ultimate equalizer, that special God-gifted one-punch knockout power. But he also can box. Gervonta Tank Davis, he's very durable, has a chin, never seen him visibly hurt. Gervonta Tank Davis also has great footwork and foot placement. And here you see Gervonta Tank Davis, only shortcoming, pun intended, is his height. He's 5'5" with a 67-inch arm reach. But as you can see here, he's working on his versatility. He's now working on fighting orthodox. He's naturally a southpaw. Now he's working on fighting orthodox. Great switch hitters, no diddy, in the sport of boxing.
Showbiz the Adult, a well-known boxing commentator, emphasized that the upcoming fight between Gervonta Tank Davis and Jake Paul must deliver genuine excitement. He warned that many fans fear it could end up looking like a glorified sparring session, with both fighters taking it easy to avoid embarrassment. According to Showbiz, if that happens, it would be disastrous for both men. Their credibility would crumble, and fans would lose interest permanently. With Tank and Jake each commanding massive audiences hungry for action, he stressed that this bout can't afford to be cautious or staged. It needs to bring real intensity and danger, because if the fight falls flat, the entire hype surrounding it will disappear overnight.
Career ending. It could be career ending. Jake Paul can end his whole shit. That's the fact. Tank can end Jake Paul's whole shit. And if that fight is meh, and it's just a sparring session that's tit for tat, their shit's over. Because people are gonna be pissed that it's exactly what they expected it to be. They can't do that. If they do, their career's ruined. Jake Paul career's ruined, and Tank. If they make it meh and just touch, both their brands suck. That's the black two sugars. You mess around in that bell ring, and you see little Tank, and you see big Jake, and he's throwing a jab, and little Tank making a miss, and bam, and y'all gonna be like, whoa, say I'm lying. Y'all, you know what? Yes, say I'm lying. Please say I'm lying. But y'all gonna be right there, cheering, because you ain't never seen nothing that damn bizarre. Even De La Hoya versus Shaq had headgear, and Shaq ain't a boxer. That right there, fireworks. Because you're going to be holding your breath, especially Tank fans. I'm going to be like, don't hit Tank. You're going to see Tank little ass legs. You're going to, and big ass Jake, big legs, and big ass head. Watch. Y'all talk all that shit now because y'all love talking shit. Y'all love hating on things until you see it. Like women back in the 90s. I remember my sisters back in the 90s. You ain't that cute. You ain't, well, all on your shit. That's what y'all do. Y'all talk shit, but y'all the first ones there.
Keith Thurman highlighted an undeniable truth about Gervonta Davis and his critics. He noted that the very people who constantly tear Tank down are often the first ones tuning in to watch his fights. They claim his performances fall short, yet they never miss a single event. Thurman pointed out that this kind of criticism actually fuels Davis's fame, because even negative attention keeps his name circulating in the boxing world. Every time detractors call his fights overrated or disappointing, they're still contributing to his spotlight, ultimately helping to sustain and even grow his popularity.
If you're really not happy with Tank, first off, don't watch Tank. Don't do it. You know what I'm saying? You support it, then what you doing? You can't not support and support at the same time, right? So if you're a boxing purist, then this fight with Roach is really more for you. It's going to be more up your alley, you know? If you just like all entertainment, all fights, all hypes, all everything, then you're going to want to tune in to the Tank and Paul's show there, you know, because that's all for entertainment. Was it for entertainment purposes only, right? It's just say like somewhere in the small print of the promotion for entertainment. Don't do this at home, kids. You know, sometimes
Disclaimer.
Yeah, disclaimer for entertainment purposes only. You know, so you know, it's money making purposes only. You know, it is what it is.
When Claressa Shields suggested that the only fight that truly makes sense for Gervonta Tank Davis is against Shakur Stevenson, her comment didn't sit well with him. Tank fired back with a cold response, saying, "No one has the right to tell me what to do." His message was unmistakable. If people want to be fans, they should stay fans, not try to act like his managers. That reaction seemed to come from a deeper place. Following his draw against Lamont Roach, Tank faced a wave of online backlash from his own supporters, with many calling him overrated. The criticism clearly struck a nerve. Now, he's done trying to please anyone. His mindset is straightforward. He fights on his own terms, not for approval, not for validation, but for himself.
And it says that, you know, pretty much the only people that can beat him is Shakur Stevenson, and I don't know who else he said. She thought that at a point in time that Devin Haney could beat him, but now she doesn't believe that. But so really the only fight that there is for Gervonta Davis is Shakur. What a mighty, mighty convenient argument. And Gervonta Davis responded, and basically his response was, "Come on, girl, stop talking about me so much because you're making me feel like I'm special." Right? So he pretty much just, you know, kind of blows it off. But I really think that there's something much deeper going on here, and it is that this, and I said it again, I said it in another video, I'll say it in this one, the Bud Buddies. The Bud Buddies are a crew of boxers that all hang around and worship Terence Bud Crawford, and the main two members of it, besides the people that are actually in Terence Crawford's camp, as fighters are Shakur Stevenson and Clarissa Shields without a doubt. Clarissa Shields is a huge backer of Terence and a huge backer of Shakur Stevenson. At the end of the day, the only thing she really cares about is what's in the best interest of Shakur Stevenson. And anything and everything she say is angled that way to get Gervonta Davis to do something that Shakur Stevenson wants him to do, which is really do all the hard work and then be there for Shakur Stevenson to become a star at the end of it. I'm telling you, man, I believe that to the bottom of my soul, that is the same plan that Terence Crawford ran on Errol Spence Jr.
The matchup between Gervonta, Tank Davis, and Jake Paul defies the usual structure of professional boxing. As many analysts have noted, fights like this exist in a gray area, somewhere between genuine sport and pure entertainment. What makes this bout especially unusual is that both fighters are still in their physical primes. Exhibition-style events typically involve legends past their peak, like Floyd Mayweather's recent showcases. But in this case, both Davis and Paul remain active, competitive, and ambitious within their respective careers. That's what makes the fight so puzzling. It blurs the line between a legitimate boxing contest and a viral spectacle designed more for attention than athletic merit.
Fights like this with fighters pretty much in their prime. But other than the size mismatch, most people are wondering why has Tank taken this fight? And those were the first questions targeted to Tank in this presser. Because usually these sorts of bouts are relegated to the latter part of your career. And for most Gervonta Davis supporters, they thought they would get the big fights next, the Shakurs. They didn't think he would be fighting Jake Paul. Although Tank tried to push it off as fans should just be happy watching the sport and hey, haters will be haters, I think that's quite unfair to the people who have been loyal supporters of him and honestly have paid his bills. He tried to compare the level of criticism he gets to the likes of Mayweather, but the difference is with his mentor Floyd, he really did fight a lot of champs in their prime. As Tank, well, not really. The most notable fight he's recently had that the people actually wanted was the Ryan Garcia fight, and the only reason he took that fight was because everything was on his terms. And other than the Ryan fight over the last couple of years, it's either been people who aren't in his weight division, which he's pulling up, or fighters ranked in the lower half of the top 10 lightweight list. The fights people have truly wanted to see just have never materialized, and simply that's why people criticize him. If the likes of Crawford never fought Spence or Usyk never fought Fury or Joshua, they would have caught the same level of flack. The reason why fighters like them are applauded is because generally they take on whatever challenge is in front of them. Tank instead, his whole career has bobbed and weaved around the most significant challenges that the people actually want to see, unless he has everything his way.
Another major concern surrounding this fight is the massive weight disparity between the two men. Jake Paul naturally walks around near cruiserweight levels, while Gervonta Tank Davis competes between the lightweight and super lightweight divisions, a gap of roughly 60 to 70 pounds. The kind of difference goes against the very foundation of boxing structure. Weight classes exist for a reason, to ensure fairness and to protect fighters from mismatched power and potential injury. If bouts like this start becoming normalized, it raises a serious question. What's the point of having divisions at all? Even if it's billed as an exhibition, the physical imbalance makes the matchup inherently risky and could easily turn it from entertainment into something unsafe or completely one-sided.
Assuming there's no rehydration clause, which I don't believe there is, he'll probably weigh around 215 pounds in the ring. That means there's a sort of a 60 to 70 pound difference between the two men in the ring on fight night, which is absolutely enormous. There are weight classes for a reason in boxing, and this is the sort of thing that is typically not allowed or permitted. And like I said in my intro, it goes to the heart of that key question in boxing, which is how big is too big? It's the reason that the pound for pound list exists, where we kind of imagine if everybody was the same size, who's the best, who's number one? It's a debate that rages on and on and on. And so when I see a fight like this, I think the hardcore boxing fans, generally speaking, have felt frustrated by it. Yes, because we want Gervonta Davis as part of the actual sport, competing for world titles against the other elite guys in his weight class. But also because if he gets knocked out and loses to Jake Paul, it creates this illusion that Jake Paul's much better than he actually is. And so I guess the question for me is, can Gervonta Davis beat Jake Paul, or will Jake Paul simply be too massive? Can Jake Paul use his size, or will Gervonta Davis simply be too skilled? What's the answer here? And in trying to answer this, I looked to history, and there's one fight that immediately popped out of my mind, and I thought, I wonder what the size difference was there. In fact, it may even be more significant, and it was and the small guy won. Some of you might be thinking about it right now. It's when David Haye took on the monster, the absolutely ginormous human being, Nikolai Valuev. I think it took place around 2009. So at the time, I was literally a teenager. I didn't have a clue what I was looking at, and I'd fully bought into this David versus Goliath story. But I think it's an excellent example here to draw comparisons between the Gervonta Davis-Jake Paul fight to try and understand whether or not this is a good template and blueprint to try and predict and understand what the size difference might look like in the ring. Now, David Haye was 6'3" and was 217 pounds for the Valuev fight, whereas Valuev was 7 foot tall and weighed 316 pounds.
The outcome of Jake Paul versus Gervonta Tank Davis goes far beyond strength or skill. It's about the future direction of boxing itself. If Jake wins, it could signal a major shift toward influencer-driven exhibitions, where entertainment value overshadows sporting integrity. The spotlight might move away from championship-level contests and toward social media spectacles, where drama and viral moments take precedence over discipline and legacy. Fans could start to view traditional boxing as slow or outdated, craving chaos instead of craft. But if Tank wins decisively, it could restore a sense of order, reminding the world that real boxing still belongs to those who master the fundamentals. His victory would reaffirm that skill, timing, and ring IQ still outweigh celebrity hype. Still, even with all the skepticism, most people can't look away. Many casual viewers find Jake Paul's fights thrilling precisely because they're unpredictable, full of wild swings, drama, and spectacle. Adding Tank Davis into that mix only heightens the tension. For better or worse, this fight captures what modern audiences crave: something explosive, chaotic, and impossible to ignore. It's less about who's the better boxer and more about what kind of boxing the future will become.
The purists hate it, the algorithm loves it, and both will watch. It's not just who wins, it's what wins. Will the entertainment value or the ring IQ come out on top? Because if Tank dominates, the meme dies. Jake Paul survives or hits it big, we see new rules are going to be written in real time. Me, you, maybe everyone at some point has been that bigger guy, thinking that I'll just bully him. Jab, slip, liver shot, sat me down real nicely. Size helped until it didn't. All I'm saying is, let's not dismiss something because it looks weird. Many fights get decided by the details. Feet before fists, timing before muscle, discipline before clout. Look, Tank wins if he stays Tank. He's built on patience, traps, explosive counters. That's hell for a tall guy who gets eager. Jake's long jab is the key, but Tank's head movement is the key. Once he times it, the door's getting open and the furniture is going to get rearranged. Think locksmith versus padlock. Big padlock looks scary until the right tool clicks once. Jake throws that overhand like he's bowling with his shoulder. Effective, but you don't see it.
Promoter Eddie Hearn offered one of the sharpest takes on the Gervonta Tank Davis versus Jake Paul matchup. He stated, "Boxing and entertainment are two completely different things, and when you mix them, the sport loses its identity." According to Hearn, this fight isn't about genuine competition. It's a business spectacle designed for attention and profit, not legacy or titles. He warned that blending spectacle with sport is dangerous because once fans begin to accept these kinds of matchups as normal, it risks eroding boxing's credibility altogether. Hearn's words carry weight. As someone who's watched the sport evolve firsthand, he's seen how quickly entertainment-driven events can overshadow real championship boxing.
Always said that there was a chance that Jake would fight in November. I think, wasn't I the one that broke Jake Paul against Gervonta Davis 6 months ago or something? I knew that they'd agree that deal. I didn't know they were about to announce it then, but I did know that they'd agreed that deal previously. So I don't like it, if I'm honest. I mean, I think we need to really differentiate between boxing and an entertainment concept, and that's what that is. It's a freak show. It's entertainment. It's a lightweight fighting a cruiserweight. You know, with, I don't know, is it bigger gloves and certain minutes per round? I don't know what it is, but you know, I understand the market and I understand this freak show shock kind of the world mentality of people potentially tuning in. Is that a step too far? Maybe. I mean, I I hated Jake Paul against Mike Tyson, but it did massive numbers. I hate Jake Paul against Gervonta Davis. It'll probably do massive numbers. So that's when you really have to differentiate yourself between, just because you don't like it doesn't mean it isn't going to do good business.
Former world champion Shawn Porter offered a more personal take on Jake Paul's rapid rise in boxing. He explained that most fighters who accept Jake's offers do so for the money, not out of respect. The paydays are massive, and few boxers can turn them down. Still, Porter believes Jake hasn't yet earned genuine admiration within the boxing community. The respect he gets, he said, is mostly superficial. People applaud his marketing genius, not his in-ring skill. Jake's team, Porter added, understand how to sell a story, but true recognition in boxing only comes from facing and defeating elite-level opponents, something no amount of money can buy. This entire fight, Porter argued, reflects how boxing has evolved into a business-first sport. For Jake, it's another chance to prove he belongs among real fighters. For Tank, it's a test of how far his brand and reputation can stretch beyond traditional boxing. Both men are marketing powerhouses, but while Jake builds his fame through spectacle, Tank continues to build his through skill and legitimacy.
I like when it's all said and done, and when you guys go off, they go into the next man. So if y'all can make a big payday, go get that payday. The sport of boxing don't love you, that's the problem with this sport. It's like what Jake Paul did, man. It's crazy, but people getting paid off of it.
Yeah.
So if he can call any one of y'all out and y'all can get that payday, I say go get it, baby. I'm not mad at it.
For me, and I'm not mad at this move at all for Tank Davis, but I think when it comes to boxing fans, there's an essence that comes with this sport, and it's an essence that hasn't been lost, unlike other sports. For an example, with football, we come from the hitting days.
Yeah.
Can't hit nowadays. You know what I mean? So boxing hasn't lost its essence. You know, they're trying to make it safer and all those sorts of things, but there's still this pureness to boxing that really doesn't exist in sports anymore, but it's still there with boxing. I think that's why people have such a problem with this kind of move from Tank Davis.
Is it more the heart? How do you guys feel being boxers?
Man, like once you hear the numbers, I'm like, they're talking like, I don't know the official one. They're talking about like 100 mil.
Oh, damn.
They're talking about these insane numbers. Like I'm gonna be like, don't take that. I'm not gonna tell another man not to take that type of check, especially for something like that. It's not on your official record. It's an exhibition. I'm not gonna lie here and act like I'm not gonna say yes to 100 million or something like that.
That's it for today's video. Stay tuned for more updates and insights from the world of boxing. Until next time,